SPMP サイドストーリーくんねちぷ。
Previous overview. They parted ways with the woman who guided them and resumed their journey to find their sister. They asked the men passing by about the surroundings and headed for the river ahead, but it was getting dark, so they decided to stay overnight at the nearest Kodan. The people of Kodan where we stopped were gracious and welcomed us and prepared us food. The family there suggested that we rest together in their room, and we spent the night in their room. When I woke up the next morning and looked outside, there were a few light clouds, but I don't think it would rain because the clouds were high. In this weather, we can leave. As we were getting ready to leave, the family who had let us stay yesterday prepared breakfast for us. After that, we finished our meal, thanked the people who took care of us, and left Kodan. However, as I was leaving, I was suddenly advised not to go deep into the mountains by the person in the house where I was staying. Apparently on the road ahead, there have been rumors that bandits have been coming out of the mountains lately, so they warned us to be careful in the direction of the mountains. It was advice I had heard before. When I was in Palakodan I was told to stay away from the mountains where Yaso lived, and that immediately came to my mind. In the past, the people of Yaso also caused various problems and troubled the people around them. Are there bad people around here? The people I passed yesterday didn't say anything, but I have to be careful. But we have a way to escape into the sea. All three of us are confident in our swimming, so as long as we don't leave the shore, there will be no problem. I think we're almost to the river we're aiming for, so for the time being, it's okay if we proceed cautiously while paying attention to the mountainside. I had heard a lot of bad rumors about Yaso and Palakodan and was a little nervous, but my worries were unfounded, and I was able to reach the river I was aiming for safely without incident. The river was narrower than I expected, but it was flowing so fast that even I felt a little dangerous. When I saw how fast it was, I felt that what the men said yesterday that you can cross by boat probably means that it is probably after you go out to sea. However, there were no boats when we passed the coast earlier, so it seems that the only way to cross the river is to go up the river and find a shallow place. Going deep into the mountains is a little nerve-wracking again, but there's no other way. So once again, Momu took the lead, and we headed upstream, keeping an eye on our surroundings. However, there was no road there like when we went over the mountains, so we had to walk along the riverbed where the stones were scattered. The The stones in the riverbed are slippery, so anyone can slip and get hurt if they are not careful. We have to avoid injuries at all costs, so we can only go slowly. We walked slowly, watching our step, looking for a place where we could cross the river. After walking for a while, Momu, who was walking a little ahead, stopped in his tracks, turned around, and urged us to look at the top of the forest. When we looked in the direction he was pointing, there was a streak of smoke rising from it. The smoke is a sign that someone is doing something with fire, but the question is, who is using fire in a place like this? What immediately came to my mind was the rumor that there would be bandits. I don't want to run into bandits in a place like this. But the direction of the smoke is upstream of the river, which overlaps with the direction we are heading. We would have liked to avoid it if we could, but for some reason we all agreed to go see what was going on, and as before, Momu went a little further and we headed upstream, wary. When I got close to the smoke was coming from the woods a short distance from the river, and I couldn't see it from the river. So we moved away from the river and cautiously and quietly headed for the source of the smoke. On the way to the source of the smoke, everyone paused and looked around. The reason for this is that there were many bamboo bushes along the river before I came here, but there are few bamboo and grass in the place where I am now. If there are bushes and vegetation, I can quickly hide if something happens, but I am a little worried because there is no way to hide without vegetation. At that moment Momu told us to wait here, and he trotted off to see what was going on ahead. Today's story ends. The continuation of the story will be updated tomorrow. Please look forward to. If you like, please subscribe to the channel. See you again.